Hello everyone. Now, before we start the reading, I'm sure some of you are wondering why it is that I am dressed in military design with war paints. Well, my friends, it's because I'm dressed as any soldier would be dressed for war. Some of you may not be aware, but there is a spiritual war going on as we speak. I've heard a few different spiritual soldiers speak out about the final battle that is occurring this month in January. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about that in my intro videos this month. The final battle, I like to think of it as a video game. And like any final battle or any video game, you spend the entire series prepping and getting ready for this kind of boss character, this kind of final boss at the end. You know, we all have these kind of things in our life. It's these things that we get ready to fight. These things that have become a major battle for us. We all have things that we would like to overcome. We all have things that we're fighting for. We all have things that we're battling. And now these can be emotional wars. These can be spiritual wars. These can be mental wars, and they can very much be physical wars. But the one that I'm speaking about is more so a spiritual and emotional war, which in my opinion is even more serious and could be possibly even more bloody than the wars we've experienced in this physical realm. So, my friends, I've come to you with war paints. Well, my my I don't even know the word. That's how serious I am. I just can't even think of the word right now. This is my interpretation of war paints, because I wanted to visually express to you guys how serious this war is for us. This final battle that's taking place on this in a couple of days with the new moon in Capricorn. Now, for those of you who are a little confused still and who aren't really understanding, Capricorn is the 10th house, and in the 10th house, there you could find the legacy, you could find the government, you find the authority figures of power in our world. And with that being said, you can also find corruption. And I believe that has everything to do with the wars that we're going to be fighting the end of January. These are wars that we spent all of 2016 and 17 and 18 preparing for. And I strongly advise that you guys creatively and mentally and spiritually get ready for the wars that will be fought on the new moon in Capricorn. And I wanted to do the beginning of my videos this way because I know that on different levels we are all fighting different wars in our life. For some of us, we are fighting wars against ourselves. Others of us are fighting wars against our twin flame. Some of us are fighting wars against our shadow self. And as I mentioned, this war, you know, it took years and years and years for us to prepare for it. So needless to say, this final battle, this final boss is pretty gnarly. And we're going to need our entire mind, our entire body, our entire soul and spirit with us all together. It's very important that we face our fears and that we face what's up against us, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be, it's going to be different for all of us. But nonetheless, this new moon in Capricorn on the 15th is really going to reveal the true character of all of us. It's going to be nearly impossible to hide the true character of you, because that's what Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is about the true integrity that lies within a person, and for that matter, the true integrity that doesn't lie in some people. Nevertheless, it will be revealed. This is a very serious month. This is a very serious time. The moon and the sun have not had a chance to be together in Capricorn in a year. And now we have finally reached that point, guys. And as you all may know, Capricorn is a very serious and responsible energy. So this is all about rising above these mountains. These mountains that we climb, mental mountains, emotional mountains, spiritual mountains, physical mountains. We all have mountains. We all have obstacles, and that's what Capricorn's about. Capricorn is about perseverance and pushing through the obstacles, right? Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about what restricts us, what places boundaries on us. And I myself, as a Capricorn rising, have been recruited for this war for a very long time. Anyone with Capricorn energy, and let me tell you, we all have Capricorn energy somewhere. For those of you who have Capricorn in the 3rd house, you are being recruited to speak out with integrity. For those of you who have a Capricorn North Node, it is your destiny to fight. For those of you who are Capricorns, you are aware of this war going on. Capricorn Moon, you can feel this war. So wherever your Capricorn energy may be, that's where your integrity lies. That's where your character lies. For me, it's my spirit. And I just wanted to come to you guys today and utilize that Capricorn spirit that I have. So, like all my other videos, I do want to go over a little bit of the astrology, and I want to go over what you can look forward to in my readings this month. Very intense messages this month, guys. I'm going to try to still remain my positive Pisces creative self, obviously. This is me being creative in a more serious way. But yeah, you know, my readings are going to be pretty serious this month. And I mentioned mountains. I'm actually going to be doing a mountain spread. And this is just something that I creatively thought of, and you'll see in your video. So if you would like to continue watching, what you're going to be seeing and what I'm going to be giving you as a message is, I want to reveal to you the mountains of 2018. Possibly the mountains that you've been climbing for years. I want to reveal to you your obstacle. And for some of us, the war that we're fighting is going to be fought with our very own mountains. I don't want you to be afraid. Like, some of you may really get in physical fights, but you know, I'm disappointed if that's true, because it isn't the physical aspect that matters now. It's the spiritual aspect. What are you willing to spiritually fight for? Where does your spiritual integrity lie? Who is your spiritual character? Physical fights, you know, anybody can physically fight, but can you like fight on a soul level? That's what this is about, my friends. So Pisces Priestess is going to show you your final boss in mountain form, because this is Capricorn season. And yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So since Capricorn is the 10th house, I'm going to be using 10 cards to show you what your greatest obstacle is. And I hope you're following me here. I hope this makes sense, and I trust that this will make sense to those who it's supposed to make sense to. So also, on a lighter note, I have 2 special giveaways. Aries being one, and to be honest with you, I forgot to look at my YouTube to see who my second winner is. But Aries, shout out to you. You guys had over 1,000 views. And Aquarius, you guys had over 1,000 views on my last video last month. But Aries made it very soon. I'm very happy about that, because I spoke out last month about, you know, I didn't really have many Aries viewers. And apparently the universe heard me, and a lot of Aries have followed me, and they're giving me a lot of good feedback, and I really appreciate that. So Aries, stay tuned. You will be getting a special giveaway in your reading. I will be using a new deck that I received for a gift. I have not came out and shown anyone this deck yet. I will be doing a whole entire new video of its own, revealing this deck to you. That's going to be something fun, so be on the lookout for that video later on in the month, closer towards the end. And don't worry, everybody else, as a token of my gratitude for all of you, I have made it past 500 followers. And back in the beginning of my journey, when I thought of this YouTube channel, back when I had 12 followers, you know, which still meant the world to me. I never knew, it's not about the followers to me, it's about the message. And, you know, I told myself from day one, when you know, 500 is half of 1,000. Oh man, when I get 1,000 followers, you guys, oh wow, well, I will get creative about how I repay you all for that. I'm talking free readings, extra readings that I upload to YouTube, you name it. I'll be doing, because this matters so much to me, and I hope you can feel that in my readings. So thank you all so much for helping me with my battle. Part of my battle, you know, is being Pisces priestess, and I fight spiritual battles every day. I fight emotional battles with my own light and dark every day. You know, I am enlightened, and part of being a light worker and part of being on this enlightened journey is people think that you're perfect when you're enlightened and when you can do these kind of things, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. When I chose to be an enlightened individual, I chose to wear my darkness, and I chose to wear my light so that I could speak out as an advocate for others who are struggling with their light and their dark. So I truly thank you from the bottom of my serious heart right now for each and every one of you who have followed and subscribed to my channel. I have 600 followers now, so as a token of my gratitude, I will be pulling an extra card for everyone. And it is Capricorn season, which is a little bit more of a mysterious season. So I'll be pulling an extra card to reveal a secret to you from the House of Knights, which I think will be very helpful for the readings. So do look out for that, guys. And as I said, Aries and one other lucky sign, and I guess everyone's just gonna have to watch. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I did not check, and I was so eager to start these videos. I didn't check who liked my videos, but Aries, you hands down, you won every month I give a special reward to whatever sign likes my videos the most and views my videos the most. And Aries, you won the view part. Now, as far as whoever liked my videos the most, I'll have to check, and I will be honest. I'll just check and see what number is the greatest. And so do look out for that. So another lucky sign, and it's going to be a surprise to me too. It might be Pisces, I don't know. But do look out for that, guys. So let's jump into the astrology, and then we will get going with your January readings. So prepare to understand your own mental mountains and spiritual mountains. This is going to be literally a mountain with 10 cards. So I'm very excited. So guys, you know, the astrology part. I have it on my phone this month. We started the month off, well, this is also January, so happy January, you guys. Happy 2018. We started it off immediately. I thought it was very significant that we started the month and year off with a Cancer full moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and this is the blue moon, right? You know that saying that people say, they say, oh, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, this will happen. Well, it did happen in the beginning of this month, and it was very, very intense. You know, the moon was at home, Saturn was at home, and this opposition between between Cancer and Capricorn was very much felt. I believe all of us are collectively in a different cycle. So we had that full moon in Cancer on the 1st. Another very interesting thing, you guys, is that a lot of these months in January up until April, we have two moons. Usually we only have one full moon, but the way that time has lined up, and yes, it can be explained. It can be explained in a logical way. February only has 28 days, and But I believe that this is an energetic thing. This is energetically designed. This is divine. This is meant to be. We have two moons in January. We have two full moons in February and March. And in April, the moons finally get back on track. So very exciting, very intense energy, right? I'm sure you all can feel it. So we started the month off full moon in Cancer. January 2nd, Uranus went direct in Aries. Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, so Aquarius. Maybe you guys have felt a little bit more of a relief. I know when Neptune went direct, I felt very forward-minded. I felt I could move forward spiritually. So congratulations, Aquarius. Your ruling planet is finally direct. All the planets are direct right now, guys. This is a huge green light for the universe, for us to go, fight your battles, persevere, move forward, keep going, don't give up. All the things that we wanted to do, we can do them. The planets are rooting for us. So yes, we had Uranus go direct right after the full moon. On January 11th, Mercury entered Capricorn. We have a Capricorn stellium right now, you guys. There are so many planets in Capricorn. We have the moon in Capricorn. Mercury is now in Capricorn. The sun is in Capricorn. Venus has entered Capricorn. Venus entered Capricorn, I believe, the end of last month. We also have Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a super stellium. So much. No wonder my Capricorn rising wanted to dress in army war material, war paint. This is very much a war. And we need to rise up as soldiers against anything that stands in the way between us and our own success. We have a new moon in Capricorn tomorrow. And I wanted to get these videos uploaded before the new moon so that you could have your January messages. I always try to get my videos uploaded before the new moon. So we have a very intense new moon in Capricorn where and I think I'm going to do a whole new video. I'm going to do a whole video on the new moon, you guys, so that we can get these messages out clear. So do look out for that. I told you I would be coming out with a lot more videos. January 17th, Venus enters Aquarius. So right after that new moon, isn't it interesting how we have this intense energy? This is going to ground us. And like I said, we'll talk about the new moon in my new moon in Capricorn videos. I'm going to record those in the next few days as well. Venus enters Aquarius January 17th. The sun enters Aquarius on the 19th. Few days. We are rocking and rolling, guys. We are moving on strong. January 26th, Mars moves into Sagittarius. We'll talk more about that in the Sagittarius video, guys. And then at the end of this month, we end this month with a gnarly full moon total lunar eclipse in Leo. Okay, we had an eclipse in Leo back in August, so this energy is coming back around, you guys. And then right after that, on the same day, end of the month, January 31st, we end the month with Mercury entering the alien realm of Aquarius. I'm not sure if you guys know how intense this is. I'm not sure if you know the meaning. And for those of you who don't, Pisces Priestess is going to be here to interpret these things creatively in my thorough way that I usually do in my videos. A lot of stuff, guys, a lot of stuff going on. And obviously there are a lot of different battles, even our own country. I do believe that this is the dawning of a change. I do believe that, and I'm not trying to be Oprah here, Oprah's an Aquarius, but she's right. There is change on the horizon. And I declare, and I see, and I feel that there will be, so over the next 6 months, we will see the beginning of changes in our government. We will see the beginning of changes in our police force. We will see the beginning of changes in the laws of this land. That is what the 10th house is about, and we have the moon and the sun here, you guys. So change is on the way, grounded change. New moons are all about the beginning of things, planting the seeds for the future. So the next 6 months, you guys, it won't be only us who are changing, but our world is changing as well. And when the world changes, we change. And when we change, the world changes. We're all changing together. But before that change can take place, we have to fight for change. Like all of the great historical figures of this country have said before. So guys, Welcome to your January videos. Welcome to a new year. Welcome to a new calling. Welcome to the battle. And let's do it together. I do hope that these videos are helpful this month. And I do hope that they are relatable. And I'm really excited to relay these messages to you. So I hope you enjoy your metaphorical mountains. See you in a little bit, guys, in your other videos. Hi, Cancer, and welcome to your January tarot readings. Not sure if you guys chose to watch my intro video or not, but this month I have decided to do a sort of interesting reading. I'm going to be showing you your own personal mountain, that, you know, your own final boss battle, the mountains that you're going to be climbing before we enter a whole new world in the next few months. And Cancer, you know, very interesting for you that we had that full moon in your sign on the 1st. I'm sure that really got you in the feels, and it really completed some certain things in your first house of self. And then we have all of this energy in Capricorn opposite of you. So I know that there may be a lot of pressure on you, Cancer, a lot of emotion, as you are the cardinal sign ruled by the moon. So it's very important to me, and it is my honor to reveal to you some of the things that you may be struggling with, so that we can talk about the best ways to get through that. So a lot of Cancer and Capricorn energy right now. Full moon in Cancer. A lot of energy in your 7th house. We have Venus in your 7th house. Pluto has been in your 7th house. Mercury entered your 7th house. And this is all about your relationships with people. Family, friends, siblings, work. We have a relationship with everything, right? So that's a lot of energy. Capricorn is your 7th house. It's right across from you. A lot of energy in your 7th house, Cancer. So let's see here. Spirit. This is the Cancer reading for their mountain. Okay, we have some cards flipping over. A lot of cards there. But I do see that there is some isolation happening with you, Cancer. There's some truth coming from a Virgo or some sort of isolated wise figure. But I do see here that there's some isolation. The Virgo card, the Hermit, and you are the Hermit crab. The Hermit card comes out a lot for you guys because you're very isolated people. But we do have the Magician and the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. So a lot of energy there, but I want to focus mainly on your mountain. And we're going to get the first 4 cards for you, Cancer, the foundation of your mountain, which is very important. So Spirit, let's get the most relatable cards for Cancer and what they're battling. What is Cancer overcoming this month? What is their final battle in mountains about? Okay, we have this card pop out again, guys. So I do see that this is a part of your reading. We'll get to the explanation very soon, but that's a very left out in the cold feeling. And I could feel at the beginning of your reading that there was some emotion there. Definitely some emotion. We have the Queen of Cups. Cancer, that is your card, the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is coming up for everyone. Cancer, your energy, whether you know it or not, is impacting so many people this month because of your opposite sign, Capricorn. We have the Ace of Cups. A lot of emotion. A lot of emotionally left out in the cold. Emotionally isolation. But if anybody can handle that and turn that into love, it would be you, Cancer, the cardinal water sign. But as I was saying, there's so much of that cardinal authority. We have Saturn opposite your sun. We have the Four of Pentacles coming out with the Eight of Pentacles. So there may be something here with holding on tightly, or you know, this is you working all on your own. So I do see that this Capricorn energy has really affected Cancer. You know, you guys are really stepping up your game. And I would be too if Saturn was opposite my sun. You know, it's all about hard work and perseverance. But I do see here that there's a lot to do here with emotional work. And we do have some sort of heavy burden coming out with the Ten of Wands. So, but let's focus here so that we can just get your mountain. We have the Six of Pentacles coming out with the Two of Swords. Let's see. Let's focus here, Spirit, and get these messages out for Cancer. A lot of different scattered energies for Cancer so far. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card to finish the first row of Cancer's reading. We're going to take this one by one. One more card, please, Spirit. Just one more card. And what do you know? We have the Hermit card. So there's a lot of isolation, Cancer. And also there may be a Virgo that you're dealing with. But we have an isolation card here and also an isolation card for the Virgo card. Isolation and retreating into that shell that we all know Cancer has, right? So let's get 3 more cards for Cancer to continue this mountain up, up, up. We are climbing this mountain with Cancer. We are climbing this mountain and we need 3 cards. 3 cards for Cancer to place above these 4 cards that we have on the table. Okay, we had 4 cards come out, but we did have the Moon, so there's a lot of, this is, you know, this is you too, even though this is the Pisces card. I see a lot of emotion here, emotional authority as well, third-party situations maybe. But just to be sure, let's shuffle and get these 3 cards for you, Cancer, because I want them to come out. Okay, we had your 3 cards come out. We had the Ten of Swords. I knew Cancer was going through certain pain. We do have the Four of Swords, the need to relax and meditate and pray. And we have the Page of Wands, which is a more positive energy. Passion returning into the universe. So let's get 2 cards for Cancer. We have the Four of Wands. One more card for Cancer. One more card for Cancer to set next to the Four of Wands, please. One more card for Cancer to set next to the Four of Wands, please. Page of Cups. New love, conversation, emotional conversation. Because I know, Cancer, I can see already that there's a lot that you need to talk about emotionally. You just may not have anyone to talk to about it. Now let's see here if there's any other cards that flipped over, because I'm kind of shuffling kind of fast for you. We have at the top of your mountain and I damn shuffled your motherfucking cards. So I don't know what your right bottom of the deck is. So let's just ask Spirit. So just hone in your guys' energy, please. Okay, so the new bottom of your deck is the 9 and the 10 of Cups with the 6 of Coins. So I do see that there's some balancing of the emotion, lots and lots of emotion at the end of the bottom of your guys' deck, and the need to balance that emotion. But we'll get to that more towards the end of your reading. For now, we're just going to talk about this mountain here that we have formed. Do you see how that's a mountain there, Cancer? I'm not sure if you can see that really well. But we have the kind of the foundation, and then it narrows its way up to the tippy top of this mountain here. So let's start at the beginning of your reading with the foundation here. So we're going to separate this kind of mountain, and we're going to talk just about these 4 cards, because this is where the journey begins. This is where the battle begins. This is the battle that you're fighting, Cancer. And I do see that you are fighting a battle that has left you feeling quite alone. And this could have everything to do with finances, but for your reading, I'm really not feeling finances. Some of you are dealing with poverty and unemployment, and it is putting you in a rather emotional state. And I do see that if there were demons after you, Cancer, right now, especially with all this opposite Capricorn energy. Capricorn, they work all the time. And I know you work too, Cancer, but Capricorn is like the 10th house of work and career. So with that being your opposite sign, I feel that you guys struggle all the time with not feeling good enough or feeling financially secure enough in your careers. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of dark energy around right now. And there's dark energies everywhere trying to break down certain people. And, you know, I feel that the way to break Cancer down right now, I kind of can feel the negative energy that they're trying to make you feel financially insecure. I mean, that can break anybody down. That could break you, even the most powerful and strongest, biggest and baddest down. So for some of you, this is the Capricorn energy opposite your sun, making you fear financial stagnance and unemployment. You know, some of you may be a little bit afraid to be left out in the cold in a job, or maybe you're really living paycheck to paycheck, which is, you know, and you may even have, this could be some sort of relationship, because I see that this is two people. Some people think of this as a twin flame card. Nonetheless, Cancer, you're showing up very wounded and very left out in the cold. I mean, we are in the winter season here. So winter can be a very left out in the cold kind of feeling for you. But we do have you outside of a church here, okay, which is a sanctuary for you. And I'm not saying that some of you go to church or anything. I don't view it very literally like that. I just view it as a safe place, you know. And we did have the Four of Swords come up for you, and you've actually entered this kind of church. And this is a metaphorical church. This isn't a church like Christianity. No, this is the High Priestess church. You know, as a Cancer, you are very, very psychic and very, very spiritual, whether you're open about that or not. Deep down you are. So these people are finding comfort and warmth, and they're like almost homeless in a way. And they're finding sanctuary and comfort and rehabilitation in a certain sacred place. It's a sanctuary, some place where you're safe from harm. But I do see that you are very wounded and very tired and very exhausted emotionally, physically, and mentally, Cancer. And that has everything to do with the beginning of this kind of mountain. So you're fighting this mountain that has made you feel very cold and left out and not included by other people. And you could have chose this feeling. You could, you know, this might not be someone making you feel this way. You are a water sign. So sometimes as water signs, we even do this to our own self by, you know, feeling certain situations that haven't happened yet, or trying to prepare for certain situations that haven't happened yet. So that could be very well what's going on as well, Cancer. But I feel for some of you watching that there is a person, place, or thing that is directly causing this energy. I mean, this could be anything. As water signs, we can pour ourselves into any situation. So it's very important that we recognize that Cancer is really, you know, not in a sympathetic way. You know, I don't want to send you any kind of sympathy, because I'm not trying to beat you down or anything. But as a water sign, I can feel that you are going through a certain amount of emotional pain. And I say emotional pain because this card came up with the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is your energy. This is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But this is the Queen, so this is the Cancer card. So this Queen of Cups is very nurturing, like you, Cancer. Very healing, very emotionally intelligent. She's very kind. She accepts people emotionally. She's surrounded by her own waters, and she's on her throne. This is her emotional throne. So this is you, Cancer. Even the male Cancers, this is the more feminine side of you. Perhaps some of you, if you are a male Cancer watching, you've been struggling with letting your emotion out and crying because you don't like to seem weak. Even the female Cancers can be that way. But I do see here that your emotions have been left out in the cold, perhaps due to a certain financial situation. Maybe a boss has showed no mercy on you, and you're left without a job even though you have children to feed. You know, your boss still fired you or still replaced you with someone who he thought would make him more money. But it was unfair, and you're back. Someone turned their back on you, or perhaps you are walking away from your emotions, Cancer, because of all this hard Capricorn energy. I do see that there's an earth energy here. So for some of you, this could be a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn that you've turned your back on because they weren't emotional enough for you. You know, I do see that these people are walking away from the Queen of Cups. So this is somebody is wounded emotionally, and they are walking away, finding sanctuary elsewhere because someone wasn't willing to accept all of your emotion. And Cancer, you are a waterfall. You are always going to flow emotionally because you're the first water sign. So you literally symbolize water and emotion in the universe. And anyone who isn't willing to accept that about you, any person, place, or thing, whether it be a job or a family member or a friend, you know, it's just, it is time to walk away from that. And for others of you, you have walked away from your emotion, perhaps the more masculine energy. The more masculine energy, Cancers, you may have tried to turn your back on your emotion. And it's left you feeling very, because I know as a water sign, when I try to act all earthy, because, you know, I have a lot of earth energy, so I try sometimes not to cry, and I try to seem more hard than I am. And it makes me feel a lot like this Five of Pentacles. It makes me feel a lot like these people. I feel best when I'm in an emotional environment. It does me best when I'm honoring my emotions. And I imagine it's kind of similar for you, Cancer. So, I'm not sure how this is going to be for all of you, but I do see some sort of emotional abandonment. And for us water signs, we actually value our emotion. So someone didn't value emotion enough in a situation and you are walking away, it's left you very cold emotionally. Perhaps this is just some of you feeling emotionally cold, but I do see that the battle that you're fighting is with your emotion, and it's possibly the emotion that you feel because you're left out in the cold, or being left out in the cold emotionally. I guess we'll have to just keep a look here in the reading. But I do see this left out in the cold feeling. You're emotionally wounded as well, Cancer. I feel that some of you watching have been through a great deal emotionally, and it could be due to a financial situation, but it also could have something to do with anything else. It does not have to be a financial situation, but I do see for some of you that's coming through. I do know that around this time, finances can be kind of, it can be what people are stressing out most about, because there's this new year, right? We're in 2018 and everybody wants to be new. And there's a need to get on board right now, but we have to be careful trying not to rush that. We definitely can't rush our emotions, Cancer, because me and you and Scorpio, we need our time to feel things. We should not allow certain people and situations to rush us emotionally. And we may feel the need to walk away from them. And it's interesting, now I'm holding the cards in a way that these emotional figures are actually walking towards the Queen of Cups instead of away from her. So this is some sort of emotionally healing energy that is going to show up for you in this time of need, right? This emotional security, this emotional value. The Queen of Cups is such a loving energy. It's kind of a mother energy, just like you, Cancer. And when you're feeling left out in the cold like this, you need to look towards your emotions rather than away from them, because it's only going to make things worse. I promise you, if you try to disregard your emotion during this process, even though the world tries to make us feel that emotion slows us down, no, it actually assists us on the way. These people need to be emotionally honest with themselves. And I do see a lot of emotion. Like your foundation really did start off with a lot of emotion. And I wouldn't expect anything different with a Cancer full moon. There's a lot of cup energy. We do have a lot of cups. And we have only one pinnacle energy. The only pinnacle energy in your reading is this left out in the cold feeling. So when you're trying to feel grounded, the pinnacle energy is all about what you can see and what you can feel. There's no other pinnacle energy except this one. So I see that you are feeling left out in the cold when it comes to a grounded figure. Perhaps you don't feel grounded. Maybe you don't feel emotionally grounded. Because I do see, this Ace of Cups is seriously, the Queen of Cups with the Ace of Cups, that's a very huge watery energy. But it's also new love, Cancer. Whereas before, you may have walked away from a certain love situation. You may have walked away from a person who was abusive or wounding you. Or you just walked away from a wounded situation. I don't see that you're alone. For some of you, you are with another person. But for some of you, you're walking away from this person. But you are walking towards a more healing environment. As we move up from your mountain, it gets more and more healing, okay? But you have to make the decision to go on alone. And it's interesting that you get this kind of emotional energy here. The Queen of Cups with the Ace of Cups. She holds the Ace of Cups in her hands, if you can see that there. And the Ace of Cups is all about finally expressing emotion. When you went so long without expressing your emotion, when this card comes out for a person, it's because they're finally ready. A very heavy cup there. It fell right over. It must be filled with water. Well, this person is finally ready to, this could be someone, this could be you, the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Cups could be someone emotional in your life. Cancer, you could be embodying this energy. Some of you, this could be the male Cancers, or perhaps some of the female Cancers, feeling very emotionally withdrawn. But then there's this kind of emotional figure that comes into your life in the form of a new love or new friendship or some sort of new healing environment. And it just washes over you, it just slushes all this snow right away and the sunshine comes out. And it may be a newfound love within yourself, because the Queen of Cups holds her own Ace of Cups. You know, she's in love with the King of Cups, but he's not in this reading. I see that the Queen of Cups is on her own here. And there is some sort of new love opportunity or some sort of ever-flowing chalice in the universe for you, Cancer. This is all about healing. So the pain that you felt here is definitely going to be healed as long as you keep on going, as long as you don't give up. You can find that place of sanctuary where healing is going to take place. The Queen of Cups is healing, and the Ace of Cups is healing. And this is new love. New love can heal you as well for some of you. But I do see that left out in the cold feeling being healed, and I see that this is emotional healing. And if there's anyone who can heal a water sign, it's either another water sign, or so often we have to heal ourselves. You know, we heal ourselves so much of the time because, let's face it, Cancer, as water signs, we can just seem very emotional to people, and we kind of intimidate people emotionally because we're emotionally intelligent. You know, this is a cold, cold world. This is a cold, cold world, and a lot of people would rather walk away than stay and fix something. So water signs are a lot of the time left out in the cold to heal their own pain. And it's because we were just given a gift at birth. The universe chose us to be water signs because we have that kind of magical healing. So I do see that some of you are going to make the decision to heal yourself because the end of your foundation is with the Virgo card. It's with the Hermit. So this is all about your inner light. This is all about reflection. So you want to reflect on the emotions that you have, Cancer, and you want to reflect on, you know, what you've been made to feel all of 2017, you know. You want to prepare for the South Node in Cancer that is coming soon. That's going to be an extreme time of release for Cancer. And right now, you know, the sun is in Capricorn. So I always say that when the sun is opposite of you, you can feel very cold. Like when the sun is in Virgo for me. In September is always like one of the hardest months for me because the sun is in Virgo, my opposite sign. Your opposite sign is Capricorn, and right now the sun is in Capricorn. So you could feel very cold and left out by the universe too. And that's why you're going to come in as this Queen of Cups. And you're going to angelically heal your own self with your own waters. You know, as water signs, we have our water flowing through our veins instead of blood. So we have this Hermit card. And I see that some of you, this card kind of just dropped and turned upside down. Some of you are choosing to stay in the cold with a certain person when the universe is really, really encouraging you to initiate self-healing. You know, this is the Virgo card. So for some of you, this might tie in. You may have Virgo energy, or you may be dealing with a Virgo. But Virgos are very, they're very secretive people. Like, they're very private people. You see how this man is all alone, and he's wearing a cloak. So this is like the hermit crab. You know, he's very, very protected, and he just protects his own light as well. You see how the light is even protected, and he has his hood on. So you don't really know. This is a mysterious teacher. And this card is literally the isolation card. So this is talked about being alone. And I do see here that a lot of this mountain that you're going to be climbing is, you know, you may be climbing an emotional mountain alone. But Cancer, you want to keep in mind the great wisdom that you'll walk away with. This is your light. This is you protecting your inner light. You know, sometimes we have to walk away from cold situations in order to protect our own light. So I do see that some of you are really dealing with loneliness. You're really dealing with a great emotional burden on your own, and that may be the best because you are protecting your own light. And it looks as if this person is standing on the top of a mountain. So this is definitely your mountain reading, and you are the Hermit crab. So, you know, you may be inside your shell, and you may be in hiding right now, Cancer. So we're climbing up your mountain, and I see that there is the Ten of Swords. So there is some sort of very painful situation, and I feel that this is emotional pain. We see this water back here. You know, I always look at the water in the Ten of Swords because he was so close to reaching his emotion, but he was gunned down instead. And there's these swords, these 10 different situations. You know, you're feeling at least 10 different things, Cancer. And you're trying to see the light in the darkness because there's a lot of darkness here, and you're trying to see this little bit of strip of light, and you're trying to see the light of your emotion here. You know, but nonetheless, you are still going through a great deal of pain, and what do you know? here's another card where you're viewed alone. I actually don't see, well, the only cards here where you're not alone is the Five of Pentacles and also the Four of Wands that we'll get to in just a minute. So you are celebrating. I see that some of you come out of this darkness with a person and you celebrate it, whether you celebrate on your own or whether you celebrate with another person. But nonetheless, at the beginning of this mountain, there's a lot of pain that you have to face on your own. And it makes sense because we have to love ourselves before we can love another person. And there's certain things about ourselves that we just can't look to other people to understand. You know, we have to go on strong on our own. Sometimes there's certain demons that we have to face on our own. So I do see that there's a lot of pain here, Cancer. A lot of pain. And this is a sword card. So it could very well be mental pain. But I do see that this is different for all of you. I see that this is emotional pain. And I see that this is mental pain. And I see that this is physical pain. But it's very dark. And there is a little bit of light here. And I feel like the light is going to be found in your emotion. Because we have the sun here in the water. Okay, and that's where this guy was trying to go. And we lay this card right here by the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So these cards have everything to do with each other. So you feel left out in the cold emotionally with your pain, Cancer. And some of you were left out in the cold emotionally and hurt very, 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 very deeply by someone or something. And I see that you are facing a lot of emotional darkness on your own, but I see that you're doing it with such emotional integrity. Like you chose to be by yourself. You chose to do this on your own. You chose to go inward and heal your own self. You know, I see that Cancer is very much climbing this mountain, and they're doing it with such integrity, such emotional intelligence. And I just feel your guys' strength, you know. I know that the Ten of Swords looks kind of gnarly here. This looks very, very intense. But nonetheless, you are still being that healing Cancer. You're still being that psychic Cancer. You're still moving through that cold in order to reach your sanctuary. So we have this church. Now, you've made it through the cold. And instead of being outside the church, you have made it in, because we see this window here, right? You see this window here, this painted glass? Well, that is right here as well. You see that? So you found your emotional value, and you went through a lot of pain to cut something off or to move on emotionally, and then you're doing what you need. This comes up right after the Virgo card. This is not just a Virgo. If you have nothing to do with a Virgo, if you don't have any Virgo energy, if you're not around a Virgo energy, then this literally just means isolation. It means going inwards and reflecting on your own inner light, learning something from yourself alone. Well, I see you here taking that time for yourself. You know, this might be hard for some of you because as water signs, we're always wanting to be there for other people to heal and to cure and to nurture and to cleanse. But sometimes the universe calls us to, it literally forces us to be that kind of healing figure for ourselves in order to move on to what's next for us. So I do see that even though you're not alone here, there's some sort of person with you in the cold here, whether that person was the one causing the emotional pain or not. I see you alone here, taking the time to heal alone. You're healing your own light so that when you're ready to rise up again, you'll be that strong emotional figure that you need to be for whatever's next. Right now, Cancer really does need some private time to meditate and to pray and to sleep and to just kind of drift away and spend some time with water. Like this could be taking a bath alone or just going and renting a hotel for a few days alone. You need to take the time. You know, I do see that this mountain is and this may be a mountain for you because it's very hard for water signs to do this for themselves. This is making the very hard mental decision. This is another mental card. To pray and to meditate and to relax. We have this golden sword down here. As above, so below. So I do see that there's a lot of decisions. This is the Three of Swords. You know, this is taking the time to heal after a heartbreak. Because the Three of Swords is a heartbreak. If you know what the Three of Swords card looks like, it's a heart. And there's three swords in that heart. And if you look at it, those Three of Swords, it's taking those Three of Swords out of your heart. But only for you, Cancer, you have the Ten of Swords. So much more painful than it ain't only your heart that got hurt. It's like your entire being. And that's how water signs get hurt. We feel it everywhere. So you took those 3 swords out of your heart and out of your back, and now you're just resting to seek prayer and guidance from angels and whatever it is that you believe in, God, the universe, creator. Well, you're taking time to connect with your higher self, Cancer, in this kind of meditative state. You're resting and you're putting yourself first. You're in a very safe place. It's very quiet. It's very nurturing. And this can be many different things for people. Getting a manicure, taking a bath, like I said, taking the longer way home so that you have 15 more minutes to yourself, taking a drive down a back road, whatever it is that makes you feel healed and whatever it is. For me, it's sometimes reading tarot and just releasing certain energy, right? So whatever it is that you do to relax, Cancer, you're going to need to do a lot of that during this kind of mountain. And I do see that this is relaxing after a very painful incident. I see that some of you have been through very, very painful occurrences, and it's emotional pain. And this is relaxing to rejuvenate your emotions. A lot of people don't know this about water signs, but we actually need to sleep for longer, and we need to rest more than most people because of how intensely we experience this world emotionally. Like we experience intense emotional experiences, and it takes away from our emotional bodies. And as a Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, we literally have emotional bodies, you know. And I'm glad that the Ace of Cups is here because it's going to refill you. The Queen of Cups, you have a lot of strong water in your reading, but you also have a lot of guidance to make sure you're resting and make sure that you're letting your body rejuvenate. You're letting your mind rejuvenate. This is mental rest. So some of you are really going through this like mental pain, but mental pain for a water sign is going to turn into emotional pain. And emotional pain for a water sign is going to turn into mental pain. So they kind of go hand in hand. So I see that there's some sort of pain and some sort of resting and relaxing. So this may be taking a break from a relationship for a couple of weeks just because of everything that's went on. I mean, it's a new year, and in us water signs, we really do need to take several moments and several days for ourselves, because everybody looks to us to heal. They look to some sort of water energy. You know, we represent that in the universe. We represent healing and emotion. So everybody looks to us, you know, for these emotional answers. But, you know, in order to be that emotional superhero, you're going to have to rest. You're going to have to put yourself first and heal yourself for once. I mean, because we obviously see that you need that, Cancer. And it's okay to need that. This is emotional rest, because it's validated by the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So, Cancer, you need to refill your cup. You've given and you've given and you've given, and you've been emotionally drained by someone or something or some place or something. Something has emotionally drained you. You're probably just emotionally drained from everything being opposite you. You know, we have a Capricorn stellium. We had a full moon in your sign, and I know a lot of people did some really hard meditating on that Cancer full moon, and it could have very well took a lot of Cancer's energy. So you need to refill your Ace of Cups so that you can be the Queen of Cups, because you're very wounded and hurt right now. So you need to rest. Like, these people are very wounded, and they need these cards go right together. It's the Five of Coin and the Four of Swords. Very wounded. If you can take a look at these people, they're very hurt. He has a crutch. His head is hurting. So that's symbolic for some sort of pain. And it's coming up in your reading as emotional and mental pain, which go hand in hand. So you need to heal yourself and fill your cup so that you can be that queen again. Now, this is where things get a little bit more positive, because this is you when you've climbed the mountains. You see these mountains back here? And this is your mountain reading. So this is you when you've persevered all of these energies. When you finally rest, this is why after the resting, only after you rest and refill your emotional cup is when you get this spark of passion. Only after you take the time that you need to be alone. See, this card just keeps wanting to stay upside down, and this means that someone is not retreating inward and that someone is not taking the time alone that they need. But we're going to turn this right side up because the universe is telling you to take the time, and this is coming up first. If you don't take that time to be that hermit and to stay home and not go out and not answer your phone, then you're not going to be able to experience this beautiful energy where You have fought your battles, and you have climbed several mountains. Cancer had 3 mountains to climb. See that? And now you're ready to start a new passionate journey. This is the Page of Wands. So this is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be any kind of fire energy. This can be, I see that this is your energy, Cancer. I see that you decide to passionately come back out. You look good, you feel good, your cup is filled. It's almost like a vampire. You know, water signs are a bit like vampires. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but do you know how like a vampire feels when they don't drink blood for a really long time? And I just love vampires, so sorry for this like dark analogy. But when water signs are emotionally neglected and when they're left out in the cold, you know, we can get very, very sick, and we can get very, very like, we can experience fatigue and like tiredness and grumpiness. It just completely drains us. But this is you after you take the time for yourself to refill your own cup, to heal yourself. You're like ready to get back out in action. You're passionate, and you're ready to start a new journey. And this is an emotional journey. This is going to be right here it's going to go right here with the Ace of Cups and the Hermit card. So there's self-healing. Remember, I told you that these cards together symbolize self-healing. So this self-healing has everything to do with this new journey that's coming. Come February or come the end of January. This is in your distant future after you've climbed this mountain. You're this the passion returns to you, and you feel pretty much at your greatest after you've taken the rest and after you've healed yourself. So it's going to be very rewarding for you to be alone for a little bit, Cancer. Now, moving up even farther, and I just want you to take a look here at the mountains in the distance. You see the mountains in the distance? So it's funny how Spirit has these little bitty little hints. So, moving up even farther, we have this Four of Wands. And it's interesting that this comes up right after the Page of Wands. So first, you have to heal and love yourself. You have to start on this journey alone. You start alone as a fire. See this Page of Wands? He's by himself. And then we have another wand card where this is a celebration, a passionate celebration. You see this wreath here, and then there's like some sort of marriage going on. There's some sort of party going on, celebrating the home life, celebrating, and you know, this is your 7th house. So with all this energy in your 7th house, you guys, it's very, very in the universe for you guys to find love or to reunite with someone. But this is a marriage. But there's a lot that you have to do first, Cancer. There's a lot of emotional healing. You can't get in a relationship when your cup is empty. I see that at the beginning of this reading, your cup is empty. It's not even there. There isn't even a cup. But then the Queen of Cups comes, which is you, and the Ace of Cups, then you fill your cup. Being alone is what filled your cup. And being alone is what's going to make you realize, because sometimes if water signs get too distracted, that we don't even know that we're in pain, because we're always constantly carrying around this emotional energy that we really, you know, we kind of handle pain well. Like, we're the type to be in this kind of position and still smiling, and no one knows we're feeling this. So it's very scary for me when Cancer is in pain, or when Pisces and Scorpio are in pain, because we're the ones who no one knows it. If we don't want you to know that we're in pain, nobody's gonna know. But after you heal yourself, you know, once you take this kind of decision to be alone and to heal yourself, it's when we pray and meditate, when we realize, wow, I am in emotional pain. You know, so you don't even realize this 10 of Swords until you get by yourself, until you shut out all the exterior voices of other people, places, and things. And then look what happens after that. After you consult yourself entirely, after you go out on this Page of Wands journey, you like find some sort of union and you celebrate. Some of you may even get married. This could be celebrating your own self, or something. This is the celebration that takes place after you've this is the like beginning of your mountain. This is the middle right here. So we're reaching the top here, and you're very much celebrating emotion. You're celebrating the pain that you've accomplished through meditation, right? We have this 10 of Swords and this 4 of Swords here, and we have the 4 of Wands validating that. So you're going to celebrate the pain that you've reflected on whereas other people will ignore their pain and they'll, they'll try to hide it. Well, Cancer, you're going to embrace it like the water sign that you are. And you're going to be celebrating the fact that you had a chance to meditate and pray. You're going to be celebrating, you're actually going to celebrate this pain. And I know people think water signs are so crazy because of how, everyone calls you over emotional, Cancer. They say that you're an emotional crybaby. And I just can't stand that because I understand Cancer on a spiritual level. Cancer is my 7th house. Okay, so like I just totally love Cancer. It's like you're the kind of people that I would like to date. And not necessarily a Cancer, but someone who's like you, someone who's healing and nurturing. Like that's by my birth chart. I was born seeking a relationship that Cancer is naturally. So people think that you just cry about, like, no, that is not a good way to, that's so simple to look at Cancer. You guys are so much more than that. You guys are like emotional warriors, emotional soldiers, and it's like water signs, they celebrate their pain. Some people make fun of us and they say, oh, water signs like to cry. They love pain. Well, it's because it's this kind of energy right here that puts us in our element. And that's why this is right here by the Queen of Cups. This is validating the Queen of Cups. Because sometimes pain is a good thing. Water signs understand that pain and happiness are equally rewarding. So you celebrate your pain and your happiness here. And you're celebrating it with someone else, whether it be a friend or a lover or a friend that turns into a lover or whatever. But it's beautiful. And you're celebrating it, and you deserve this. You deserve this energy to celebrate your pain, because without your pain, you wouldn't be as strong as you are. And there's new love that's coming in. This is the Page of Cups, so this is newfound emotion. We do more in the emotion that is no longer there, but the Ace of Cups is bringing in emotion, and also the Page of Cups is. So the Page of Cups is coming in, and it's after this sort of, after you celebrate your pain. It's interesting that the universe works this way. You have to acknowledge your pain. You have to acknowledge your downfalls in order to see the light. So after you see that, there's all this new energy. We have the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So there's some sort of new emotional and passionate journey that takes place with these pages. These are two people that are ready to go on a new journey. So I see that by the end of this mountain, you have climbed it, and you are a new person. You are a new person passionately, and you're also a new person with emotion. And it looks as if you're going to be having a few passionate conversations at the end of the month, coming into February, and also some emotional conversations as well. Because this is the Page of Cups who is having a rather unexpected emotional conversation. And I think that this happens in that meditative state and on that that journey, because it's the Page of Cups is validating the Four of Swords and the Page of Wands. So it's like you need to rest in order to have the energy to go on these new journeys. And it's like you link up with someone who's very emotional. I keep dropping my rocks here. I have to find them after my readings are over with. But I have these rocks here at the edge. I keep elbowing them off. So, we've reached the top of your mountain, Cancer. And true to the water sign nature that you are, we have the Seven of Cups. And, this is just you in a different realm. You see how this man or this, whatever this figure here, this is a subconscious realm. So at the top of your mountain lies a subconscious realm filled with abundant opportunity. So you do all this and you link up with someone, but little do you know, there's like so much more out there for you. There's money, there's celebration. So this may be, for you, Cancer, this may be everything that your mountain entailed all in one. Because this is the cups. So this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And I see in one cup, there is some sort of like, you see this here where my finger is going to be? There's some sort of mountain here in this cup. There's riches and jewels in this cup. There's a celebration in this cup. There's some sort of demon dark, it just goes to show you that not everything's peachy keen. We have the spirit, we have knowledge, we have wisdom. So these are your options. This is everything this is in a different realm. You see, this is a dream realm. That's why it's very smoky and hazy. And this guy is actually a little bit confused. A lot of people say that this is a confusion card, but I only say that, they only say that because they're not water signs. Water signs are not confused with this kind of energy because we're always in a different realm. We're always weighing out our emotional options. And you want to take a look at this card, Cancer. And at the end of your battles, and at the end of your mountain, you've climbed this mountain in order to reach all of these different options for yourself. And you deserve whatever it is that you choose, because I do see that you have a lot of emotional abundance surrounding you. And all that's left is to balance that. Literally, we have 2 balance cards, right? Like, if you see that, these cards both speak to financial balance, because this card here has a scale in his hand, and it's almost as like, see, remember when I was telling you, Cancer, that you give a lot? So this card here is about the give and the take. And you want to make sure that you're balancing your own value, because this Capricorn energy is really coming down hard on you. And, you know, you're going to you need to make sure that you're balancing your finances, and you make sure that you're, you know, you already give enough to people emotionally. So make sure that you're not giving too much physically as well. So this is the balance between physical and emotional, and the very much need to communicate that. But look at all the emotion that you reach. Look at how emotionally content and emotionally stable you are. You know, we have literally the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So that's a numerology. That's synchronicity. So the 9 of Cups is all about being surrounded by happiness and being content emotionally. This is also a wish card. So make a wish, Cancer. You have the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Well, let's see here. This is the 7 of Cups. Sorry, you don't have the 8 of Cups. But you do if you count the 7 of Cups and the Ace. Because 7 plus 1 is 8. And then you have the 9 and the 10. So this is about wishing. You may wish for this sort of emotional contentment. I see that some of you are making a wish for the 10 of Cups. Like, look at all these cups. And some of you may not want to be alone. This is a happy home life. And we did have the 4 of Wands. So some of you may be getting married and moving in together and having children and starting a family and just really experiencing, you know, emotional harmony. We see this rainbow, and this is a completion. This is the number 10. So, you know, this is definitely, you're definitely coming up on an emotional completion and feeling emotionally content for the first time in a long time. Like, look where you came from, and then look where you're going. You know, you had to complete, we have the 10 of Swords down here. So you had to go through the pain in order to see the lights. You know, in order for this rainbow to even be a thing, it has to rain, right? It has to rain. So look for the rainbow when it's raining, Cancer, because it's not all bad. Look at how beautiful things can get for you if you just climb this mountain. And if you just balance what it is that you feel. Because here we have this mountain for you. And I'm going to take a look here. And I also have a card to pull for you as well before I forget. And we're going to pull a card from this deck here to reveal anything that may be kept in the dark or a secret from you. But I do see here that, you know, that there's some emotion. This mountain is all about isolation for you, and it's all about emotion. But it's so rewarding at the end, Cancer. So I do hope that that made sense to you. So, Spirit, what is being kept from Cancer? What card would best relate to this kind of emotional mountain that they're climbing? This all this reading here with this mountain for Cancer, January 2018. Okay, we had a card fly out, and I do believe it was vision. Yes, so what's being kept from you? The dark would like you to know that there's a certain vision taking place with you, Cancer. And we have that big, beautiful full moon behind this card. Do you see that? So it's very interesting here that perhaps that full moon was delivering you a vision. If you guys haven't already had it, you want to stay loyal. You want to stay loyal to what your vision is in life. And you definitely want to do that while you're climbing this metaphorical mountain. Keep your vision in mind. Stay loyal to what it is that you want and what it is that you see, Cancer. You're very, very psychic. You know, and even if this vision comes to you in fragments, even if it comes to you piece by piece, You know, you really want to stay focused on that and stay focused on the beauty, even if it's complicated. Even if it's, you know, if it brings up certain differences with you, you know, you're very, very spiritual, Cancer, very, very spiritual. And this is all about certain wishes that you have, and certain things that your goals and your dreams, you know. So take that oath of loyalty and focus on the conclusion. Focus on the ending, you know, when you're at the beginning, because that's what's going to get you to really, really, really work your way up this mountain. You know, you've seen it, Cancer. You're very, very psychic, so you've seen the ending to this. And you want to stay true to that vision, okay? This is the card that we have for you for this month. And this is my thank you for following and subscribing to me and getting me over 500 followers. So there's some sort of vision, and perhaps it has something to do with seeing yourself as this kind of person instead of that left out in the cold figure, right? But, you know, Cancer, whatever it is that you see, I want you to keep that in mind during this mountain, because you have so many options. So many options. Whoops. And you have a wish to make, and your wish is going to come true because you're a beautiful water sign. So this is the message that I have for you guys this month, and I do hope that you got a good look at this mountain for yourself. You know, you can feel free to screenshot and to take notes or whatever it is. Or if you feel confused, speaking of feeling confused, you know, for you specifically, Cancer, you know, there is, at the top of your mountain, you may be confused. Even though I said, you know, water signs don't really feel confused with this energy, don't feel bad if you do. It's interesting that that would come up, that at the top of your mountain, you kind of fight this kind of battle, and then you wind up in a completely different realm emotionally, like in a completely different realm where you have everything that you want and everything that you've ever wished for. And that can be kind of, for water signs, that can be kind of emotional. It can be kind of overwhelming, whereas other people will just flow with it, and they'll just be happy that they won the lottery or whatever. But for water signs, we can kind of question if we deserve it because we're so emotional. So if you do find yourself in a confused position about this reading, feel free to contact me. I have all my information below. I do have my email, and I do have my social media, or you can just comment below, and I'd love to talk further with you about anything that you didn't quite understand. Also, I am ready to do personal readings, you guys. So if you feel led to talk to me personally, I do have certain options. I have my website below. You can always contact me and email me and tell me what it is that you're looking for. If you're just looking for kind of like a simple spread, I'm very reasonable with my prices. I struggled even pricing people at all because I love giving free readings, but I also have to make a living because I don't do physical work. This is what I want to do, and I'm very serious about it. And I have a Capricorn rising, so I kind of have to prove to my earth energy that I value my work. So I don't charge very much for my readings. So if you're interested in something like that, go ahead and check below for all that jazzy information. And other than that, Cancer, the center of your reading is the Four of Swords. So just make sure that while you're fighting these battles, since these battles are more so inwards for you, they're more so internal, make sure that you're taking the right amount of time to rest and rejuvenate, because this is a very, very strong battle that you're fighting, and I want you to make it to the top. So hold on to that vision and be the moon that you are. And I will talk to you guys more in February.